Seeing none, the next section of the meeting would be consideration for items at future meetings. Would there be anything from this side of the table? Anything from this side of the table?
Yes, I would like us to consider how we respond to public comment. And I'm not saying that we have a dialect, but what we have found is that when somebody will articulate a concern and we say nothing, that concern takes on some sense of reality. And so if we could come up as a board and say, well, we don't know that to be true, and we will get information like we did with the music sponsors, and we will come back on this date. So I think just saying nothing or being silent has hurt us in many ways where we've not responded back to the community. But if we can say, well, we don't know this to be true, and then give a date when we can address these concerns, I think will help us curtail some of the false misconceptions that have come up.
Okay, we'll consider discussing that in the future. I just know that if someone came up and presented something to me without my input from my fellow board members, I wouldn't be able to address their question or concern on most of what they say. So,
I'm not saying we address it then. I'm saying that,
well, if we say, you're saying that we say nothing and then it grows and lives, but that's sort of what we're going to do here, because until we as a board discuss the issue like we did tonight with the fine arts area, that we can have a good discussion and get some good data and then work on that going forward.
I mean, I know this is a long thing for you to read, but since you're a new president, it might make sense to add a little more to say it's the practice of the board to listen to comments and not give responses, and we will take them up, have our administration take them up based on what we, think are important. It's just something so that people know that.
Okay.
And
we've been
set this as an item
Yeah.
for further discussion.
Just add something to their, like, what our practice is, because then it sets their expectations. So, so many people come up and ask a question, and we just stare at them.
Well, I look at the,
And often we do follow up on them.
yeah,
I mean, sometimes it's just, they want to say something, it's not something as before. Other times, if we think, there's people bringing up a significant issue, we've many times asked you to follow up, right?
well, but unique about the music sponsors is for the first time we said, we will come back, and we said what date we would come back, and we said we would get information. We didn't respond at the time of public comment, but we said we would come back and address it.
We didn't say it to them.
We did say it within that
Because
night.
Kevin was answering one of the board members' questions. Are we going to get this on the agenda? And then he said yes. He didn't respond to the, I don't think, to the
I
public.
think the reason was right after visitor comments. I think the reason the board established the agenda the way they did is so there's an opportunity for discussion or information items. At this point in the meeting, the Board of Education members may request to add. So after we get, at the meeting or two ago, after the music sponsors, then Tim Walsh said, I'd like to add data, and then I was able to respond to say, the principal's report will be at the cow. We've tried to kind of stick with two reporting out from cow and business meetings.
Right, and so maybe just moving that up, but I think giving the impression that we don't care, or, we just don't answer you, but if somebody had stayed here, they would have heard that we do care about it, and we are going to address it, and this is when it'll be addressed.
Sure.
So I like that idea, Tim. Would you be willing to draft something up and send it to Mary Ann?
I'd
So
be
that
happy to do that for you.
so that it could get out in the weekly update?
Sure.
I'll be out of town, I won't have time to,
That's fine.
but that would be
You don't have to
very,
decide right
that would be good. So that would conclude our business, unless there's any other future meeting items.
motion to adjourn.
I,
Second.
motion by who?
Jepson.
Ed Jepson, second by Mr. Cindy. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. End of the meeting. Thank you very much.